Hello to my friends over at Face to Face Gaming. It is I, Travis Semulin Hours, and we're here for some more traditional Midnight Hunt drafting on MTG Arena. We're going to do a best of 3 today, and I've been having a little bit more fun with the format than I was initially. I don't know if you could tell when you were watching the initial videos that I was kind of not digging it. I think I just got into a little bit of a rut with thinking that there was less you could do in the format than you actually could. I had a conversation with another streamer, Luca, just Lolaman on Twitch, and I feel like there's more open than not. I still don't think this is like the best format ever, but I think it's a perfectly fine format for a month or so. So let's dive in here and see what we can do. And here we go. Took like 3 minutes for that to fire, which seems like a bit much for me on like a Friday afternoon, which is when I'm recording this. This is not a wonderful pack to open, but there's a pretty clear choice, I think, in the Oregon Hoarder. And I don't mind first picking that. It goes nicely into any blue deck. I've also been impressed with Winterthorn Blessing. It's a bit better than I thought it would be. The Falcon Abomination has been pretty dang good too, especially if you can combine it with things to use those zombies for, whether it's a siege zombie or if you're really living life high on the hog, perhaps it's a Scob Wrangler. I'm considering what we might get back, and there's a chance we will a blue card. This Component Collector, I thought there was a chance this was going to be okay in the format. It's been a little bit better than okay. This little guy can legitimately do some work. I've won some games because of it. It's not quite Icy Manipulator, but it can do an approximation thereof. Anyway, enough babble. Let's take the Oregon Hoarder and move on. Now, one thing I try not to do is let my first pick impact my second pick too much. But it's kind of hard not to do that with Oregon Hoarder into Covetous Castaway. I suppose the other option would be to look at the Geist Flame Reservoir. Because, man, that would be fantastic if we could get it to work. So the idea with the Geist Flame Reservoir is you play it. I guess I can put it so you guys can read it too. You play it, you churn out some instants and sorceries, and then you've just got repeatable burn on it. It's any target. You can burn out your opponent with it. I think I want to do this. It needs a spell. So, like, I think this is the swing for the home run pick. I think a much safer pick would be the Covetous Castaway, maybe even Foul Play, which I'm really disappointed there's not a chicken on this. I mean, come on. They could have done it. But I think I'm going to try the Reservoir and see if we can do blue-red spells. If we can't, it'll be okay. I'll move along. Now, Consider is certainly a part of that blue-red spells deck, but I don't think I can in good conscience take it here. The Baneblade Scoundrel has not terribly impressed me. It's certainly playable. And it may even be the best card here, but it's mostly just a 4/3 with flanking. It's like a Borderland Minotaur that's a little annoying to block, and if it happens to flip, it's a little better. I kind of want to take Immolation. Will you guys judge me if I take Immolation? I feel like you're going to judge me if I take Immolation. Immolation doesn't even work with the Reservoir, but I can't make myself third pick a Consider. I just can't do it. Yep, I'm doing it. Judge me all you want. I have no regrets. All right, so here we need to consider our options. This is a little bit of a signal that we could get into green-red. And I'm willing to believe we could make the Geist Flame Reservoir do some work in green-red. I doubt we would get the card draw velocity that we would out of blue, but if blue isn't open, it's not going to help. I also like Candle Trap a good bit, and I always love a good Evolving Wilds. But if we're actually going to try to draft what's open, I think we take the Naturalist here. I'd love to see a really good blue removal spell to give me some hope that we could still be doing blue-red spells. Festival Crasher ain't bad for that either, but if I can get back on this plan, I want to. Okay, it doesn't look like I can get back on that plan. Although I could take a second Immolation. That just, like, it's really weird that they gave us Immolation instead of Shock. I guess they were concerned that the blue-red spells deck would be too good? I don't know. Jack-O-Lantern is fine too, but I feel like if we're playing red, 2 Immolations is fine. Yeah, but the green is just looking better, isn't it? Because, like, I'm not saying you should pick this particularly highly, but 7th pick Duel for Dominance looks good to me. We've got a Tireless Hauler and the Consider. There's no indication to me that Blue-Red Spells is actually open. And yet I'm still going to try for one more pack because I feel like the 5-drops are free. Now, this was our opener and the Revelation came back. I also mentioned I thought we'd get the Component Collector, and we did. I'm kind of just like light forcing this, but they're giving me just enough hope to keep going. I gotta basically consider Immolation as our 2 drops. Like, I think this is the start of a deck. If I get 7 playables from each pack, I'm gonna have to play 2 like subpar cards. I can do that and still be pretty happy. I really need to stack the instants and sorceries, though, because the Geist Flame Reservoir, you kind of have to get 2 counters on it for it to do anything. And if green is so open, like that late Duel for Dominance suggests that it is. If it's that open, I can probably pair it with red or blue and still get playables for it. But here we've got a Festival Crasher coming around somewhat late, and this is where I like to pick them for a deck like this. Like, that makes the idea of Considers and Electric Revelations a little bit more powerful. Now, I don't love Otherworldly Gaze. If you can mill it, it's quite good. If you have to actually pick and play the darn thing, it's not. I might make it in here. Neonate's Rush is fine, though. Can usually ping something away. Draw a card. Okay. I think we're halfway there. And then we were like, okay, we're going to play green and pair it with something. And it's probably going to be green-red. And we'll keep an eye out for spell count for this reservoir. But right now, this Consuming Blob is just better than all of the other cards that we have. By a lot. So I'm going to take it. Ideally, we can pair it with... Oh, Travis, what are you doing? What if we're green-blue? Because I don't actually have a reason to be going red currently. But Double Oregon Hoarder has got a lot going for it. Don't you think? Yeah, I need to fill in the creature count, but I think I could get somewhere with this. Okay, we've got Falcon Abomination, which I typically dig. We could also look at the Path of the Festival if we think we need to start splashing something, but as late as that Wilds was, I think I can find one. And I should be able to wield this tapping. I think I like the idea. Now, if green dries up a lot, I'll get off it and go back to blue-red. Like, I put myself in a situation where we can still do that. But I've won... somehow this is like the 3rd Consuming Blob I've opened. And it has been absolutely insane every time I have played it. Which has been every time I've opened it. Now we're kind of getting asked, how committed to Bob are we? Because there's not really a pick here we can take and still stay into Bob. So I'm going to take the Revelation, and if Blue-Red Spells is very open, we'll move back. Interestingly, I could kind of still cheat here and take Startle or Unblinking Observer and be set up for either. So I think I'm going to continue to hug that. But yeah, green's getting hacked. I'm not going to be able to play Bob. I'm really sorry, Bob. I want to play you. But I guess we'll just have to play this busted blue-red spells deck. Busted blue-red spells deck wants Dragon? Yeah, I think we'd probably play the Dragon as our top end, please. Okay, yeah, this is what we're supposed to be doing. Okay, so we flirted with Bob, but we decided in the end that we were married to an Oregon Hoarder. With 2 of them and the Geist Flame Reservoir, you start to think this card is playable, don't you? Like, maybe it's a little playable. Okay, I found all our spells. We're good to go. We're just going to churn through this freaking dag. I don't yet know how it wins if we don't draw the reservoir, but that's a problem for future Travis. So the Flom Channeler is a 2-mana 2/2, right? Because our deck's not actually doing this. I guess with the Neonate's Rush it would. If we need a 2-mana 2/2, we have one. That's cool. Secrets of the Key I will put right in this deck. I don't think I can splash for Consuming Bob. Not with that attitude, you can't. Ooh, the Astronomer I like a lot. Interesting. I was not expecting that to come back. That's a 2-mana 2/2 with huge upside for a deck like this. If we need another blocker, we got him. We're good. More instants and sorceries. Ideally, this. I would have been happy with the Oregon Hoarder. So I think here we want to wield the secrets. I wouldn't mind one more reason to be going into spells, but we've got like the 2 Festival Crashers, which is a pretty good start. And having a Wrath / Finisher's pretty dang good. So I think this has actually worked out. Maybe somebody will pass us that egg in these troubled times. And we got playables here, eh? Like, we could play this dude. We could play a Harrier. We could play the Flom Channeler. So black was the answer all along, I guess. Although this is a pack with just really poor color balance, right? Like, somebody took a common, but it's kind of difficult to say what. It would almost have to be the Lightning Bolt variant, right? I suppose it could have been a blue card. It's something in the colors we're playing is the awkward part. Because it's obviously not black or white. I guess for us, we take a Larder Zombie and see if we have to play it. It's a bit of a disappointing pack for us. Hey, I said we wanted another payoff, and we got 2. We've got Vardic, which I like. It makes all your spells cheaper. That's cool. And we've got the Thermo Alchemist. It lets you kill your opponent. I dig that too. I think I'm going to go with the rare one. Because being able to fire these off for 1 mana gives you a lot of deck velocity. I mean, that's not a crazy late game plan. It's just I'm going to cast the 2 dragons and kill you with them. Ooh, we got an Alchemist too. And I don't think I need the Tome, although we'd probably play it. I think we've actually got a deck now. Okay, so do I want flip the switch? Yes. I kind of just want flip the switch. Because right now we're at, what, 8, 9 instants and sorceries? I'd like it to be more. Because I think I'm currently looking to replace immolations with spells if I can. I may not be able to. Actually, I can probably replace one with this Otherworldly Gaze, because I can pitch it to the 3 Electric Revelations, or the Assessive Astronomer, or the 2 Oregon Hoarders. That's enough ways to get it into the bin for me to be pretty happy with it. Okay, Burn the Accursed is an instant or sorcery that I think I would like. So maybe this is our last card. I would have liked the Festival Crasher too. Okay, I should have enough 2s that I don't need the immolation. And I can play this for spell count. Although I'm getting to the point where I have a lot of spells in the deck that just draw cards. Which is great if I'm triggering the Geist Flame Reservoir. But not so great if I'm not. Wheeling the other Thermo Alchemist. I think we just cut the Falcon from here. And call this a hell of a deck. This looks really good to me. We could even play this, but the problem is I don't actually have that many removal spells, so getting these back doesn't seem that wonderful. Right? Like, the point of this deck is kind of a weird burn deck, right? Like, we're going to hopefully land the Geist Flame Reservoir, or at least one of the 2 Thermo Alchemists, then churn through the deck, pinging them while that's happening and blocking, and then eventually hit a Wrath or a Dragon, and clear the board and start it all over again, or just attack for, 4 in the air while pinging off their critters. So I think we end up kind of not needing this to get anything back. Like, what am I excited to get back? Really just Revenge of the Drowned. So I don't actually think we have room for the Ardent Elementalist, which is kind of weird to me, but I mean, that's where we are, eh? And are we really that heavy red? Yeah, we are that heavy red. Okay. So a lot of people will ask me on stream why I mix up the lands. And I'm realizing that you guys might be curious about that too, but you can't ask me because it's on a YouTube video. So when I came back to Magic with Ikoria, this is 17, right? No, this is 16. I need to cut something. It's like, why am I pulling one less of these? Don't worry, I'll get back and answer your question. You guys probably knew that. I was thinking I was going to cut one of the secrets of the keys, but then I didn't actually do it. And that's what the issue is. So this would be with 17. Okay, so way back in Ikoria, there was a bug. Or if you had mixed matched lands, it didn't stack them. And I found it way easier to count my mana. And I kind of got in the habit of doing it there. But it also sort of reminded me of when I would go to draft at the local game store and just sort of fish lands out of the land bin. Because I was that guy. I'd sleeve them and play with them and then forget and take them home and bring them back next time I went. So it kind of reminds me of what Limited was like when I was playing at Cape Fear Games a bazillion years ago. All right. Let's see if we got anything here. My glasses are a little foggy. I would like to play first. And we've got an Alchemist and a Flip the Switch. That seems pretty good. The Alchemist also helps to disguise counter spells and such. The Dragon will be good against that if we ever get there, and I presume we will. But taking 3 a turn for a bit is not really on my list of things I'd like to do. At least we're sort of keeping pace with them by dealing 2 a turn with the Alchemist. Why didn't they attack? I do not understand that. I guess that's what the oops was for, but we're in a position now to just never take damage from them. Let's make sure this lands first. I may take a point of damage if they want to tap my Alchemist in response. And they may have a combat trick and get me. Go get them, little buddies. All right, fine. You got me. So this will make that cost 2. But that may not be what I want to do, because if we draw a removal spell, I would prefer to use it. Meh, as it turns out, we didn't, and I'm going to play Vardic. They are now ahead in the race, and it's a little scary. I don't care for it. They're ahead in the race with a lifelinker. Don't care for it at all. And this is where not having a removal spell is kind of hurting. Because that's a lot of freaking damage. God, if they've got the team pump, that's just game over. I would like to find burning down the house pretty quickly. It almost needs to be on top now, because I don't think I can Organ Hoarder into it. But I still have to. So if I block their two biggest things, we would take 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not going to work. So I need to fire this off into a cheap blocker and then top deck burn down the house. And none of that has happened. All right, let's see if they make a bad attack. That's all I got. This is not the beginning of a bad attack. Yep, they got me. All right, so if we had been able to kill that warden, I think we're winning the game, but we couldn't. And really, the only way I have to interact with it is to burn the Accursed, which is a bit rough. Like, I'll be honest, this deck could use some things and some stuff. Why did we lose that game? Because we were ahead for a little bit. We lost it because they were established board presence and we couldn't interact with it. Like, I think I did stop some bounce spells by going for the Consuming Blob, which has hurt us a little bit. We also didn't draw the Geese Flame Reservoir, but I don't know, building the deck around one card. We didn't have our Festival Crashers either. So we really didn't draw any of the payoffs other than the Thermo Alchemist, which is probably not going to kill somebody by itself. I'm at least partially interested in one Immolation. I'm not sure what to cut, though. Probably the Otherworldly Gaze. I don't need to be jamming that. I've got enough card draw that that's not the level of value I'm looking for. Not perfect, but we can work with this. They had some X1s, which is why I wanted to keep this in. I mean, you saw them. No, I don't need another land right now. But I get one for free. Neato. All right, play an X1. Play that 3-1. There you go. Perfect. Good job. Now that I'm not so thrilled with you playing on it, if I'm going to be honest. I don't like that one as much. I think I want to fire off the Revelation here. And I should probably go ahead and do it in case I hit... Well, I wouldn't be able to cast the Immolation. Yeah, there's really nothing I could cast. Well, I mean, I could have cast Secrets of the Key. Durr. The deck knew. It was trying to tell me to leave up blue. You guys were too. I just was refusing to listen. Taking a turn off to do stuff like this in the early game in this format can be incredibly punishing without your payoffs, which is kind of where we found ourselves. Because I think we're again in the spot of If this can stick, we're doing pretty good. If it can't, we may be in danger. I don't want to trade this off with the tracker, but Clearshot doesn't care what I want. It wants only to abuse me. All right, this is the slightly greedier line, but I think it's the one that could lead to me actually being able to survive this. Because we know 3 of their cards they have access to aren't a combat trick. We do know there's one in there. All right, we're going to need to burn down this house. The good news is we have access to burn down this house. I could go too deep and not cast it, so we need to draw first. Oh god, I have to find something though is the problem. And it can't be an immolation. So does that make my best bet digging for a chump blocker and then trying to hit it? Because if that's the case, I should fire this off discarding the other revelation. We chump block both of them, frankly. And then find burning down the house. It needs to be in the top 2. What are they doing? They're giving me an opportunity to not die. I like it. This gives me more time to find what I need. All right, so I can't play the Organ Hoarder into it, but it would be pretty nice on this board. Like, I think I'm stable adjacent just with the Organ Hoarder. Oh, yeah, that's nice. I can dig what's happening here. Show me what you got, Organ Hoarder. Another dragon? I think I could be on board with another dragon. Got Revenge of the Drowned up, plus flashback on secrets. I still kind of need to find the Wrath. So I'm going to play as if we're going to find it. God, does that mean I'm supposed to discard this dragon? Yeah, I think so. I have to hit the Wrath, right? I guess the dragon could block here and I could chomp. That still leaves them getting in for 3. That's okay. That's okay. I need to have something to recover with once we've cast the dragon. Now, I can still do this, discard the land, and if I hit another land, cast the dragon. This is a little greedy. But I think I have found a path that leaves me not dead. I will be chump blocking, which is not great. We've been kind of under the gun this whole time. And I've got 11 cards left, so like running out of cards is legitimately a possibility. All right. So I know we've got to stop the damage coming from here, so we're doing that. And I think I have to block these two, so we're doing that. There we go. All the decisions have been made. I have to find the Wrath right bloody now. Give me the Wrath. What the heck is wrong with you, Dak? I didn't cast it, right? Okay, now I'm just curious how deep we had to go for it. It was in the bottom 5. It's gonna be like that. I see how you do. Man, I felt like we were just a top deck away so many times. We put the bird down the house in, right? You guys haven't been screaming it the whole time like, dude, you left it in the sideboard, you're so stupid. Okay, it's here. We do have a Wrath, and we have a removal spell. We just can't draw them. Okay. That's magic. That's magic, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. Sometimes you are the pigeon, sometimes you are the statue. It does not feel good when you are the one getting pooped on. Rather be the one pooping. That may not be the best analogy. This is not great on the draw. I'm still going to keep it, but I'd like to have a 2-drop or some early interaction. The reason I'm keeping it is because there's a strong possibility that we could draw something like that. I can appreciate a chump check being necessary now and then. Let's flip it. Flip it good. Burn. That's a shame. I wanted to keep him. This'll work. I haven't seen anybody run hostile before. So it turns into a 3/7 that you can phase out. If he ever gets that to work, we could be in a good bit of danger. All right, so here's the awkward part. I've got to put him in a position where he uses that flashback removal spell on something that's not the dragon for me to be happy. But I also think we need to accept that we're going to need to start trading off legitimate cards for those morning patrols and threatening his life total. So I think this is a reasonable turn for us to actually make an attack. I'm halfway tempted to burn the Accursed the other one and just not give him a solid target for this. And I think I'm going to, mainly because we have the Wrath. Like, I need to kind of take the initiative here, or he's just going to run away with the game. I think this is how we take the initiative. Because I can eventually make him feel like he has to kill this Festival Crasher with that. Seems reasonable. So is the plan to burn down the house? Because it might be. It seems like a lot of lost value for me. What if I cast it out here? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, I think the plan is probably to burn down the house and make sure we can get that too. That's sorcery only. So if he wants to be feeding tokens to it, I think we're okay with it. I kind of want to let him get me with something here. Like, there has to be some plan for this, right? Like, blow me out with an instant speed removal spell, please. Sorry, I got really interested in this game when I realized my opponent is my friend Ethan, who is a very good Magic player. Lord Tupperware is his screen name, which you can see. But, like, I know I'm going to get a good game when I sit down across from Ethan. Super nice guy, an excellent content creator, and a dear friend. So that kind of kicked me into, okay, I need to play like it's for real now. We're not just having a good time. I want to win. Because I know there's going to be no quarter given to me lovers. 7-6. That is unfortunate. So here's the real question. Can I survive long enough Oh god, I need another red source, which I have discarded, and I'm running low on cards. This is embarrassing. I was not prepared for the Morcrypt Behemoth, because I can burn down the house. I just can't stop the Behemoth. I would have to chump it next turn, untap and draw a mountain. If I draw a mountain, I would have enough to burn. I would not have enough to burn down the house. I could Oregon Hoarder taking a land, and then play the reservoir, and then draw another land. I've discarded a lot of mountains. I was so sure I was going to be fine, and then I wasn't. That means Oregon Hoarder into Geeseflame Reservoir is my only option. Okay, that's a start. So if I rip a land off the top, I can still Wrath and be safe. So best draw on the deck is a land. Except for the part where I'm dead. Dang it, why does he have to be so good at math? Freaking Morcrypt Behemoth, dude. I don't even know what I can do about that. How do we stop a Morcrypt Behemoth? We kind of don't, but buying back a bounce spell or a burn the accursed might be a start, and I'm beginning to think I have too many electric revelations. So let's give that a try. I hope I haven't drafted a 0-2 for you after saying I think the format's pretty good and checking the leaderboard and being like, I'm doing okay. It's not so bad. It's like, oh, let's record a video for face-to-face and show him how to suck. The issue that this deck is having, which I don't think most of my blue-red decks have, and I touched on it a little bit as we were going into deck construction, is it's a lot of card draw and then payoffs for spells, which can work. But if you've got a little bit of card draw, some solid removal spells, specifically Moonrager's Slash, and those payoffs, you've got a really good deck. So that's what this is actually missing. Take out 2 of the card draw spells and insert Moonrager's Slashes, and we've got a much better deck. But I do think that's entirely the issue. Is like, I just can't kill a threat. I was so ready to cast that Wrath and get him. And then I didn't. Yeah, let's try to be assertive here. I'm fine with that. This really should have been a tipped over card of cabbages. I think I'd have liked that quite a bit more. So do we want to trade 3 for 3 with him while we draw cards? I don't think so yet. Jader's actually relatively threatening here. Oh, it's a mob. See, this is a problem. That mob is not going to stop growing. It's never going to stop. I think that means we pass here and try to get to something. If I'd known he had the Jader, I think I would have wanted to bring in Immolation. Okay, burn the accursed on an unruly mob is embarrassing, but kind of necessary. Because that thing gonna need to die. What if, instead, we killed everything? It's a 3 for 3.5. I don't even know that it's wonderful for us, but it resets this board, which is something we need to happen. He's probably figured out exactly what I have, but there's not really a great block around it. This is better. I do think we're going to want to bring in Immolations if we make it to a game 3. Sorry I've gotten a little quiet. It's just, again, the video got a little more intense for me where I'm like, okay, I want to win now. I think I like keeping the removal spell up with the Organ Order, but we'll see. Because 5 a turn is kind of a big deal. I feel like I can race that. 6 a turn is a big deal too, but I got a startle that he doesn't know about, which also translates into technically lethal next turn. Because I'm going to have 7 power when I untap, 3 of which is functionally unblockable. So I think we got a shot at this, a realistic shot. This is one place where Ethan's better at Magic than me. He'll take more time to think through his turns than I do. And I could really do better at that. Now, he's still going to have at least 1 blocker for the turn, right? So it's not like we're going to untap and kill him, but... He's going to have to. And this is, again, where a little bit of the, like, Moonrager Slash can go face, y'all. It would be real nice for this deck. So that morning patrol kind of sets things off, right? So we swing team here, what happens? They eat the morning patrol. I think I still have to swing is the challenge. Can he make blocks where I'm not able to kill that morning patrol? I guess I'll have the option to send those extra points face. I think having drawn stone nothing, we're supposed to swing here. But this may also be that spot where I'm like, Ethan thinks through this more than I do. And it's a problem. That block won't stand. This block will. Yeah, this is a really good block. Because it kind of forces me to put the damage from the tokens onto the morning patrol, which he can flash back anyway, which leaves me basically no board state. Because here I can elect to put him to 2, which is not bad. Or I can take out the morning patrol and try to make the game go a little bit longer. I don't have direct damage in this deck, though. I think I have to take out the patrol. And this leaves him with a grip full of cards and me kind of out of gas. I think No Way Out may be really good in this format. Trading this for the other side of the morning patrol is great for us, so is him taking 1 damage. This is terrible. Oh my god, this is so bad. Deck, why you be like this? I had plans, y'all. They were good plans. But as it stands, we're just kind of waving bye-bye. I don't much care for that. Oh, it's bad. I'd need to chain spells next turn to kill him, because it'd have to be a kill with Thermo Alchemist, and this is our last turn. And I'm gonna somehow have to find 5 damage. Because I imagine our best bet here, if he attacks with the team, which he may not, is to chump with that token and send it face. Good grief, Ethan. I can't compete with this. Do you see what he's done? Because I want to block here, but I can't, because we're taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to find 6 points of burn in my deck that doesn't have any burn. Oh, it's not going to work. And I do think this is one thing that's a big takeaway. He got me. I don't think he keeps emotes on, but it certainly deserves a good game. I think my drafting skill is right up there with the other players. I don't think my play skill is. And that's one of those things where Limited hasn't felt as competitive in nature to me lately. And I think you could see how I zoned in on that game when I bumped into Lord Tupperware. Whereas prior to that, I was kind of like, who cares? We'll draft a fun deck. So that's what I need to work on. So sorry we couldn't get you something more interesting. I do think if we're going to dissect what happened, it's that we didn't have enough interaction. Burn Down the House is fantastic. I liked the idea of the dragons as the finisher, but really if the opponent landed something that was going to kill us, all we had going on was a Burn the Accursed, and that's not quite good enough. We also never kind of got to live the dream of the turn 3 Geist Flame Reservoir into then starting to play our spells. So the draws were a little awkward too, but that's kind of the problem with building your deck around one card, is sometimes it's not going to get there. I have no regrets. That was a fun draft. I got to play fun games, and I'd rather win, but fun games are really what it's all about for me. Thank you guys and gals for watching. Do support face-to-face games. Buy some stuff. You're buying nerd stuff anyway. Buy it from face-to-face. They're great people. They brought you this video. I'll see you back next week, and we will lose another one. Y'all have a great week.